Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mantalk.ke. Happy New Year. We're very, very excited to have this chat on camera again. As always, as we have been the whole year, we are back in Kofisi on Riverside Drive, Keystone Park, co-working space for yourself as an individual or your company. You can book a whole office here. Lovely aesthetic, lovely people, and also great coffee. So thank you, Kofisi, for being our location sponsor for this year. We're feeling just so grateful just thinking about the people that have come on board, and you're one of them. So thank you for giving us your space. A lot of people have actually come here from seeing these episodes. So I'm glad that we've been able to do that and that they're going to do it even next year. So yeah, thank you for being our brand partner. Oscar, I'm feeling very wholesome today. Feeling very reflective as the year comes to an end, man.
Yeah, well, Eli, I'd like to let you know that for the past 364 and a quarter days, you've been introducing Kofisi.
Come on.
I feel like every time you've been getting better.
Stop it.
Yeah. Shout out to you. Today's episode, guys, is about the year. Just kind of a review. We'll just want to let you in on kind of some of the questions me and Eli and members of the crew in the room right now ask each other and ask about ourselves to kind of figure out, how our year has been. It's just like, I want it to be like an episode where we just touch base. Just hear what's on each other's mind, and then we get like questions from everyone around us.
So I think a perfect way to kick off is how my year started. So as a family, what we like to do is create vision boards together on New Year's. So every time I'm looking at the last year, I look at the start. I go back in a review and I say, what things have I ticked off the list, and what things, the vision board, and what things are left to go next year. And one thing I've realized is I actually think the power of putting something down on paper is something I've seen that sometimes I go and I forget I've even put that down. But because I don't know if I hate when people use the word manifesting all the time, but because you've kind of put it out there that you want to achieve this, somehow you find yourself going down that route, even if it's not a conscious effort, sort of every day. And when I looked back on mine, because we're doing the Joyride experience, and I mentioned about vision boards, then I went home to have a look again, and I was like, I've basically done most of the things I wanted to do on the vision board, and even a few more. So it's been, it's been a really, really, it's been a proper year. Like, I think the work has paid off. The effort levels have been rewarded adequately. And I was just feeling like mad grateful. Mantalk as a podcast has done
phenomenal,
great stuff. If we think about the year kicked off with Bien, like that was this year.
Yeah,
that was this
Bien.
Year that we recorded with Bien, and now look at where we are since.
Yeah, Bien opened the door
strong. Came in strong.
Yeah. Opened the year very, very strongly. After that was Ivy, and our relationship with Over 25 Volts really grew us this year.
They've done amazing things for us. Yeah.
TMI also.
Mr. Durango.
Yeah, Mr. Durango, Rotimi. Yeah. That season was banging.
That's a big boy season.
I think like the thing I'd like to say about Mantalk is our fans, I feel like, I don't think I've ever felt this close.
Oh my God, yeah.
To our community. I don't think as a team, I don't know if we've ever felt this involved in knowing about our community and meeting so many people. I don't think I've met so many people in my life, man, this past year.
Yeah.
Key highlight past year is, I think, dog, ever since we were on that like boat for your birthday. Man, since that day when I don't know what got into us. When we knew it was the end of the hardest part of Mantalk. I feel like the hardest part of Mantalk ended on your birthday.
Yeah.
The dark days, the truly dark days when you were gone, and then we didn't know what would happen, and then now you're back, and now I'm gone.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Yeah. I think that was quite pivotal. I think it speaks to the power of your circle and the power of using people in your circle to progress. Like having the boys come on and having them reposting your things, and then now George is one of the people that helped us to get Kofisi. He's the one that recommended it.
He did
after
actually.
Having an issue. So it's just having a really good circle. I think for me, when I was planning that trip, one of the main things was intimacy. I wanted, as in the group, not that kind of intimacy. The one thing I wanted, Beryl's laughing. The one thing I wanted was like to have a group of people.
I'm looking at you. I know you see me in the camera, guys. You're thinking what I'm thinking. I'm like, it's exactly what you're thinking. But like one thing I can confirm though is there was a lot of responsible enjoyment
This is correct. This is correct.
Very
yeah.
responsibly.
Yeah.
We've been having fun though.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. One of the things I wanted was to have, because the guys that were coming on the trip, they were my boys, but we weren't really like close. But there was traits in each of them that I knew that if we're together, there won't be any egos. That's always a big thing with guys. There won't be any egos. There won't be any like drama. And even the young ladies that came were just proper girls, right? So I think this episode is meant to be cute. So I think
Are you the villains?
Am I the drama?
Am I the drama?
I think from there, I think experiencing things. I said this in another episode. Like having high quality experiences with high quality people. I think even pushes you more. And I think the next trip after that being your birthday, where it was a very pivotal moment for you guys. That's why I always like those repetitive experiences with these kind of people. It pushes you because if you hear someone else is doing something, you think, wait. We live in the same city. We have the same hours in a day. Why can't I do something different in my life? And being pushed by your group has been one of the reasons I think Mantalk has elevated because we're seeing everyone else doing their things. So you want your product to do
It's been an enabler for our own friend groups, like not just like the people who are visible to the internet through social media, but like I feel like I've had a lot of invisible conversations with my friends who aren't as popping on social media, or aren't even in the media space. And they've been like, homie, you've been inspiring kind of the decisions we've been making, and kind of we're seeing the consistency in the output that you have, and we're trying our best to have the same in our own lives. And I feel like it comes with its own issues. In terms of like you personally don't feel you have that imposter syndrome, or you just don't feel worthy of that like respect. But like I also have noticed that there's people who are trying deliberately to do better. And I'm really, really happy about that. Another thing obviously is our community. Eli, I still remember a conversation I had with someone where he said like last year was going through a really tough time, losing a job, going through a lot of pain, and then going through mental health issues. And he said like those episodes that dropped that came every week kind of helped him out. And that's when I told you like no. Unfortunately now it seems that me and you are chained to this train.
Yes.
Because when someone tells you like you've touched their life in such a special way, the feeling you get after that, I was like, nah, don't tell me that.
I think that really speaks to my next point about how we've interacted with the community this year. I think when I came back, a typical day or social interaction, I never used to get spoken. So no one would come up to me and talk to me about Mantalk as much as this year. But this year we've been outside a little bit. I don't want to say it. Yeah, we've been outside. We've been outside. 100%. We've been outside. We've been outside.
Because the first, do you remember the year we didn't go out at all?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, zero.
We paid our price.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we've been
good boys.
100%. And I think we found a fantastic balance of work, even when we're going out. This episode is coming out on New Year's, where there's a lot of activity that happens. There's a lot of going out and enjoying yourself, going to clubs, going to listen to music, parties. And I think one of the good things about like our group and how we've navigated like going out in Nairobi space is that everyone, as much as you have as much fun as possible, there is still an element of responsibility that I've seen does not actually happen in other groups, because you'll be leaving a club, leaving a party, and you can see like drama happening, and I never see that happen with our group.
We've
never had drama, never had anything like
made stay the
bad.
Same.
Yeah. And I think it's just having a mature relationship, even with like the nightlife.
But everyone's a group is about it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
But when we keep saying it, but like when you think about it, they're really about it. And some people even do events for a living. So like they're there running something, kind of putting themselves on, and then in the entertainment space. So I understand that it might not be conventional for everyone, but not to cut you short, but like having you can have fun at night, but like looking over each other, the fact that like we actually make sure that everyone's cool, no one's getting into things that are dodgy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
at least none that we know of.
Yeah, and I think it just comes to simple practices that if your friends are doing it, you'll find yourself doing it. As basic as water. Like if you see your friends consistently having water, you're going to be consistently having water when you go out. or having Victor's ugali. And if it's a group and everyone's like, I'm a bit hungry before I go out and I know I need to line my stomach, then everyone else is like, okay, I might as well order as well. So that's one thing I'm actually grateful for. Like our group, even when you go on trips, I remember at one point I was with Georgie keeps coming up when it comes to enjoyment, but like I remember at one point we went out the evening before, and in the morning we were working out. Remember on the balcony, not Victor's balcony, a different balcony, different balcony.
Victor.
and I remember. I think Georgie turned to me and goes, do you know how I know we're all responsible like adults? And I was like, what? He goes, the fact that we knew exactly our limits and we're here working out in the morning and we're still going to have fun this evening. We've got 3 days of this. It's like, we are a mature group. Like we're doing this correctly. Like people are still able to do maybe, like with Timmy, like 7 a.m., 6 a.m., still do his work and have enjoyed the night before.
Like that workout in the balcony was a year ago.
That was a year ago.
It feels like a decade.
That was exactly because we've done so much. It feels like we've done 2 years in 1 year. So I think that's what I'm grateful for our community, not community, our friends. But to finish the point about the community and being outside is I've managed to have countless interactions and there's just a consistent theme of gratitude in all of them.
Yeah.
And I think that comes from making the conscious choice that year ago to be like, I'm working hard. I also need to enjoy myself just as much to strike that balance. So I don't take it. Sorry?
What is it
exactly?
all for?
What's it all for? Like I don't take any of the interactions with like you guys when I go out for granted because they're all so wholesome. Even if you're in the middle of fun and someone wants to say something really profound, you're like, no, let me take a second and actually do that. So I've just been having a fantastic year with humans.
Yeah, man. For me, it's been it's been a pleasure, and we will continue to enjoy ourselves. One thing I just wanted to let everyone know: look out for each other, watch each other's drinks, still do the same nonsense. Pass me the keys.
Yeah, exactly.
If we can't drive, it's okay. Sometimes leave in the parking lot to pay a little fee.
We've
we've done that before.
It gets like that.
We get like that sometimes. We can't disclose names. We can't name names. But that name might be associated with the balcony. But hey, we're not naming names. Man. Like just like don't drink and drive and just like keep it safe. Now that being said, I have another question for you.
Talk to me, my G.
Now the year is over, Mr. Manda.
Yes.
And obviously we've taken a nice look back, but I want us to kind of take a look forward. What are you looking forward to this year? What do you think are the kind of milestones we should set as Mantalk?
This year, I think with any business, I think it's important to, because this is a production company, right? It's important to analyze what went right, and double down on that so that next year, whatever you've done, is if it's profit, if it's exposure, if it's relationships, it's going to be 2 times as good.
Exactly.
If you analyze. It's the same way if you look at an episode, we go on the stats, okay, this type of episode does well, this type of collab does well. So the same way we do that is the same way looking at like how have we navigated the money, how have we navigated the guests, how have we treated the people that we work with, how have we treated ourselves, and how have we developed so we can give proper opinions and proper debates and proper conversation on the pod. So I think that would be my first step, like seeing what we've done right. And the things I think we've done right is create very valuable relationships and bring those relationships on camera and then give people value. So next year, I really want even the caliber of guests, the caliber of conversations to reach another level. And that definitely means Nairobi being amazing, but bringing people from outside of that, bring people from like very different contexts to come here. People like my sister would be a very good interview, so to speak. Like it'll be a good one, right? So
that would be nice. And she's been working with
Tati, I believe.
The Zambian.
Exactly. Yeah, people like that would be a fantastic.
That would be strange.
Do you know what's so funny, guys? Can we be honest? Can we be honest? We've already recorded that episode. We're in 2023 already. Like, we're in February. I'm gonna go, happy birthday. Happy Valentine's Day. Oh my god. But
we can't even lie.
No, we can't.
We really tried.
3 hours ago. Like they just got the Uber back. So it could have been slick though.
It could have
They're
been.
like, oh my god, manifesting.
Oh my goodness.
That works so well.
Yeah, I manifest Tati and look up for that episode, guys. 100%, it's crazy.
100%. It's crazy. So that's basically what I want to do. The caliber of guests. Taking advantage of the fact that you're in London and it's just 8 hours away from me. That's
taking advantage. No, it's an advantage.
Yeah, taking advantage of it.
There was once a time it was a hindrance.
Yeah, exactly. That's so true.
Yeah?
That's so true.
Last year was a hindrance. Now it is an advantage.
It's an advantage. Things change, man. So basically taking advantage of that fact And yeah, being able to bring brilliant minds from even over there onto this podcast and just giving, like, my main thing in everything I'm doing, I've talked about this so many times, is like giving value and giving service. And I think that's one of the things we do very well, is extract valuable information from somebody. That sounds like a procedure, but like, and then give it to the audience. So I basically want to do that next year, to answer your question, and do it in different contexts. So that is my main goal. And obviously just make bread on this pod. That's what, and just make a lot of money. That's the idea. That's the idea. Yeah.
Money doesn't hurt.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
All right, got an answer. I think we have a few
yourself?
designs, a few evil plans.
What are you looking for next year for this pod, buddy?
I want this podcast to move from the TV screen to your house. I want to be in front of you. I want us to actually interact more with more people, and I want us to do more than just be a podcast. I want us to start like we want us to elevate the conversation from just being a conversation to being something that is tangible, physical, something that is in your hand, something that you can interact with and feel. Kind of where our mindsets and who we are as a brand is. I feel like that's the next level for us, because I think we've figured out the economics around what we do and who we are. And we figured out kind of the brand philosophy. But now it's time to figure out, how do we add tangible value to our viewers? How can the differentiating factor between a good business and a great business is the fact that like there is not just an emotional connection, but it's a connection that like you can hold in your hand. There's a reason why when Messi won the World Cup,
what a time to be
there's
alive.
a reason why we felt what we felt, because I've been buying Messi's jersey since as long as, in fact, I feel like that's the only jersey. In fact, on set, Victor has a Messi jersey right now. So I feel like that's what I want. I want to be able to like interact with the community in a more meaningful and deep way. And I want to enable our community in a very innovative and differentiated way. Because, like as usual, my stomach has decided to join the podcast.
Welcome back to Mantalk.ke.
But like my thinking is to kind of have the podcast work in a very innovative, clear-cut way as to how we're going to add value to our viewers in a way that's like really good for them. And I feel like the more value we give our audience, tangible or intangible, the more we are going to see exponential growth. Because when we finally meet in person, I want someone to tell me more stories about how we've contributed to their lives at the lowest possible cost.
Yeah, I believe in Latin they call that merchandise. I believe that was that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
from
I think
you.
merchandise is one thing, but
I'm just joking.
yeah, merchandise is one thing, but there's another strategy that we have that's
100%, dude. So I want to move to in the spirit of being reflective. What mistakes, what you'd like to eradicate from your life going into next year? Because I think it's important to also focus on the other side of the coin. What trait, what habit, what thing do you think, if it was eradicated, you have a more optimal year in 2023?
Self-doubt. But I feel like that's something I'll always have. But like that's a big question, man. I feel like I have a lot of flaws, and I'm very self-aware. So I can see those flaws. And the reason why I'm looking over here is because I'm asking it for an answer. I'm asking that building.
Yeah.
I think I'm a very flawed person in the sense that I know that it might seem that I have everything together, but I really do. I really am trying to figure life out. And one of the things I'm trying to figure out is, what am I really passionate about? What do I really want to achieve? I have a friend of mine who we were discussing it, and he was telling me, do you think you'd be an entrepreneur if you didn't need to be an entrepreneur? Do you think you'd be? Fantastic question. You hear that? Like, if I gave you $1 million a year, sit on a desk, you make money regardless, you get the financial success you want, you'll be able to like innovate within a company freely. No one's gonna unfettered, because you're capable, intelligent person. Do you think that you'd still be in the path you'd have picked is entrepreneurship? And that's a very good question, because if your answer is yes and you found something you're passionate about, then chase it. So questions like those, I feel like I'm self-aware enough to know that I need to do a lot of personal development to kind of step into the next stage into my life. Now, obviously, the fitness, that's something I know is pending, but something like fitness, time management, dealing with people management. I think even with my good dear Beryl, I've tried to grow forcefully. I'd say forced to grow.
My favorite line from Beryl ever is, "This is completely unacceptable."
Unacceptable.
My favorite line. I said, "Yep,
yes, boss.
sorry,
Yeah. Like working with Beryl and working with people and learning about that. I have so many mistakes, man. But I think if I was to pick one, it would be my ability to execute. Because I feel like that must consistently be worked on, because our ability to execute is what has made this shoot happen. And I feel like if you're going to take on bigger, better projects, we must become better planners, better thinkers, better at strategy, and turning our for me personally, turning my mind from that. I'm not used to planning and executing. I'm used to dreaming. And now that I've been doing it for a long time, I need to execute now at a higher level, where I take more ownership of the person I have become and who I am. And I need to step into that power fully, like proper.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
That's a very, very self-aware answer. I think the first step ever into like solving any issues is addressing them and being like, I'm conscious and now I can work on it.
Exactly.
So I'm glad that you're like, I don't have anything. That would be a problem.
Yeah,
So
I know I have a million problems.
I'm glad that
but the top one is that one where it's like step into like that step from I run a podcast to no. It's not a podcast. It's one of the best in the world. It's not a company. It's a media company that we've innovated through sweat, blood, and tears, and made some really good business decisions, as I'm seeing as I do this postgraduate in finance thing. And now that is why probably we are where we are. And if you're going to take on more projects that are heavier, then we must tool ourselves to be able to execute on those projects at a similar level, if not a higher one.
Agreed.
According to our standards. Agreed. I think that's the next thing, like making myself that guy.
This is why you're a great business partner. This is why you're a fantastic business partner.
I was thinking it's because of my good looks.
But hey, listen, that gets us so far. What about the audio listeners? So I think if not to make a metaphor, but if that was a mirror and you're reflecting on yourself, and the middle of the mirror is our business, I'm going to use the other side and say what mine is to kind of complement that. Execution for me, I've realized I had and you actually really helped me with this when we had this conversation. I have a very hard time relinquishing control and delegating and letting somebody do something I know I can do, but I don't either have the time or I don't have the basic time would be the primary one. So there's about 2-3 decisions I've made this year that have been so effective, and I realized if I did them earlier and if I do them more often in the future, the sky is the limit. And it's all centered around hiring and delegating. A perfect example with the events company, there's now a team of 4. And the last event we did, I realized all I had to do is deal with the finances and confirm logistics. Everything else was being done by people that I now trust. And I found myself for not the first time, but like having the most fun at my own event because I'm not consistently stressed. Just a contrast. So every event I did, I would have to go physically set up the night before, be there till 2 a.m. with the people, making sure all the tents are done. Then I'd be promoting it on Instagram because Becky was still doing architecture. I was promoting it, having to make all the content, plan the content. Then I was having to deal with all the vendors, sending every single ticket, sometimes over 100. Then on the day, getting there before, this is just me, then getting there before them, checking all of them in, then during the day, making sure they're all okay. And then also dealing with crisis on the day. And every Sunday after a market, I would be completely depleted,
including moving tables at night. You forgot that.
Exactly, moving tables at night. Like it was just horrendous. And I realized that I'd made a ceiling for myself because I was not bringing in a team to be able to push that ceiling higher because I couldn't take the weight. So for me this year, hiring a team of just some incredible people has been the best decision. And even now on Mantalk, back to the mirror, having somebody to now take over our social media, because parallel to that, I was also doing reels on Mantalk, and I miss a day. I feel horrendous because I've missed a day, but there was just literally no way to do it. Sometimes I'd wake up, I'd set an alarm. I don't leave my bed. I make the reel in bed, then start my day, and it pushes my day because I'm exhausted. I've missed breakfast. I missed a gym session. But then and shout out to our social media manager, having her on board now, and you sit down and you just see a reel appear, and you're like, amazing.
Wow.
Like, yeah. And the thing for me as well is, now back to the main problem is, having done it for, I think, 3 years, 2.5 years, having somebody else start their journey when I've been doing, something can become second nature, right? And then now giving that to someone else, I now has to learn how your brand wants to be perceived, because you might do it for someone else very well because you've done it for a while, but coming into any team, you need time to grow. So one of my things I want to work on is, and I think I've done it okay, and this is because of you. You were like, dude, just let her do it. Give her time to figure it out. Is step back. If you don't like something, just wait. They might figure it out themselves. Give a nice little hint and then step back again, and let them go through their probation and figure it out. And my God, she has, and it's become a way more effective machine, and it's helping us grow and helping me have more. I'm more capable now to think of other things,
strategy,
because that morning has not been spent making a reel. I can like meditate. I can like have a longer shower. Like those small things, those small decisions in a day make up the whole mood of the day. And I haven't burnt out this year because of that. The other thing, sort of outside of, I'm going to say it, outside of business, is I think, and my sister told me this the other day, I need few more barriers. I need more barriers. I think especially when it comes to the ladies in my life, I think I need to create more barriers, because when you're of the opposite sex, like the energy that it takes sometimes to interact with, like platonically, interact with multiple ladies, even as friends, can sometimes drain you, because I think as a guy, sometimes you really want to be there for multiple people, and that's not always a positive thing. So I want to kind of create more boundaries and kind of put myself first in some situations and be like, you don't serve me the way I'm serving you, and this is an imbalance of time, effort. So I want to kind of create those boundaries.
Wait, hold on, my brother.
Yeah,
there's an imbalance of time and effort.
Yeah, in some situations. In some situations, I think the last 3 months, I've cut down on my interactions with people, especially like, okay, seeing me one-on-one, that's fine. Like we're in the same room, but then afterwards, maintaining conversations with like 6 people, I realized I don't need to. Like it doesn't serve me. I'd rather see you once a month and we catch up. So I'm trying not to give my energy and especially my time to too many people. So I can kind of protect that piece, which links to the delegation. I want more time for me, so I can be more optimal, because I could spread myself thin sometimes. And you always tell me sometimes, you're doing too much, so just
you're doing the most.
Doing the most. So that's what I want to work on for sure. And I think doing that next year.
I think where I've seen growth from you is like is the trusting people bit. Like trust. Okay, there's professionally like me and you. Our obligation is to move the company forward strategically. And then obviously on the business side, I look at that. Like obviously me and you look at that together, but I look after that, because when we work together, I've realized that we unlock new and different ideas simply because you see things from the creative economic space. I see things from, this is how historically it's been done, and this is how operationally we can optimize and disrupt. So you see, the both of us, when we work together on an idea, things tend to expand rapidly. We tend to cause a shift. But like when I'm telling you, boss, we need to sit down and think about this problem in our business, and you're telling me you're editing a reel, I'm like, then we just then let someone else edit that reel. And I feel like the more we've done, the more lighter you've kind of walked, and the more positive time you have towards focusing on our company, the more time there is for you to help me and you innovate
100%
around like moving the needle forward. And that's really, really important. So I think that trusting people to do that has been
it's a hard thing.
It's a hard thing. Because even it's our baby. No lie, but sometimes, it's good vibes. All right, follow-up question. What do you think is your greatest... Okay, actually, I'm going to make it light now. Album of the year.
Ooh.
Album
This
of the
year, that came out this year.
Yeah.
I mean, Her Loss slaps.
Yeah, dog.
Her Loss really slaps, doesn't it?
Are you gonna say Her Loss on a male-led podcast?
It's just being self-aware. I think Her Loss. Specifically Middle of the Ocean, as we played earlier.
Oh, so that's your track. So would you say that's your song of the year?
No.
What's your song of the year?
Because of the memories it's attached to.
Oh, I have a bad idea. I have a very bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
We make a playlist for the new year.
Done.
There'll be a link
to the playlist.
Playlists. We'll both make
basically
playlists.
like our own wrapped
version. We shall rap. That will slap.
That'd be really cool.
Okay.
The song, I think, though, for me, is because of what it's been attached to. They'll never see me coming. Because every time we've listened to that song, we've been in a crowd with amazing people. We've played it in your birthday. We did, I think, even karaoke to it at the Saudi Soul concert recently. Coast twice again. Every time we're out at night and it comes on, I'm always with amazing people. And I think it's the kind of song that everyone kind of lets loose for a few seconds. Yeah. And it's a very, I don't know, that song has a lot of memories from this year. I think that was like probably even the lyrics, like that song slaps. That song has really slapped for me. Just because the memories attached to it. Yeah, I think so. And yeah. And especially when Timmy raps the bit in the middle. Because he knows, that's always a vibe. That's always a vibe.
They never see him coming.
Yeah.
They never see him coming.
Yeah. So that's, I think, for me, has been the track of the year. 100%. 100%. What's your track of the year? First album of the year.
You know what it is.
It's
a loss. Let's not pretend.
Yeah.
We're Drake fans, yeah. Sorry, it's a Drake set.
It's a Drake-led podcast.
It's a Drake-led podcast. It's problematic. We admit it's problematic. We know it is, but we just like his music way too much.
The theory is, though, the reason why we say this is because every time something good happens to us, we realize there's a Drake lyric.
There's a Drake lyric for everything.
For that. Every time something bad happens, you're like, there's a Drake lyric for that.
There's a Drake lyric for everything. Yeah. So that's just his output. That's his writing. So okay. So yes, Drake. And of course, the song of the year for me is I wake up on a daily basis. I counted money when I'm already dead.
It works for how your life has been this year.
It's been crazy.
100%.
I need acknowledgement.
Scholarships, yeah?
If I got it, then tell me I got it. Then I'm balling out of control. Keep on receiving the scholarships. May I come into the house. That song has been my theme. It has been my theme. I am free of jealousy. I am free of the anger that I used to carry sometimes. I'm free of I'm traveling so light right now, dog. I'm in this place where it's finally, it's all making sense, even if it's not making sense. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
I get you. Yeah.
My personal development is reaching a place where I'm happy. And I rock Kentucky Blue.
On these,
I do rock that Kentucky Blue. So it's I just feel dog, I'm just light.
100%.
I'm just light, man. I'm just happy, and I feel blessed. And everyone who's been with me this year has been poured into my cup, and I hope I've tried my best to kind of pour it into theirs. And the people who have had to kind of exclude did something or kind of made me realize that no, man, I feel like you occupy a space that you either feel entitled to, or you need to work towards having. I feel like I've done the right things in terms of setting boundaries for myself. Yeah. I'm very proud of myself this year.
Yeah. I'm proud of you too, man. That's brilliant.
Thank you.
Beryl was going to ask us a question as well. I have no idea where this is going, but you can shoot and then we'll put some subtitles, or just we'll repeat what you say in case I can hear it. So Beryl, our amazing director and our boss, tell us what the question is. So she said, what's my biggest regret this year?
I may know what it is. I don't know if you're going to say it on camera.
I don't think I can say that one. I'll put it in a cryptid way. Falling into bad habits. I think falling into bad habits.
Slipping and falling. Like, whoa, accidentally fell into a bad habit.
Yeah, making the same mistake twice is really
Twice? Bury me.
Hi, mum. Yeah, making the same mistake twice. I think for me, but silver lining for broader context from making the same mistake twice, it made me take action, right? And one of the best things I did, not as a result, but definitely linked, is it made me kickstart my therapy. So that's a positive that came out of it. Yeah, which we'll jump into therapy stuff later. But yeah, that's my biggest regret, making the same mistake multiple times.
Biggest regret. I feel like there are some skills that I should have picked up at some points this year that I did not pick. And now I am suffering.
What's this?
Because I did not pick
Is this hand
skills.
talk? I don't know. What's this?
Hand talk.
Well,
I'll be like, that those, you know what I mean? Those fundamental personal and time management skills. Yeah. Because you're in the middle of London. You're used to cooking a specific dish for yourself. Because you're used to Kenyan ingredients. But you're in London and a spring onion is all that's available. Not the real kitungu, a spring onion.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know what it looks like? So yeah, the cooking and the figuring like self-management, like that personal management, man. I feel like, taking care of your nutrition, taking care of your time, like, wow, like I feel like there's a lot of growing up I had to do this year in terms of like, in a different country, of course, but like I felt like I really felt the curve because I'm a bit used to some of the luxuries Nairobi gives us. And living in London, I had to like learn, oh my God. I'm like, I actually have to do things like meal prep. I need to do things like get into fitness because for my own mental health, it's a good thing. I have to figure out how, to self-manage. And to project manage also because I'm thinking about studying. I'm thinking about like making sure when Beryl puts up an episode, I can at least watch it and go, yeah, change this, change that, change this. I can at least then make time to meet people because the last thing is like I have this annoying, that work-life balance thing we're saying in every episode. I don't have it.
Yeah.
I don't have that. I feel like, and if I do, it's like really small. So like when projects are on, I'm so on. I'm like, nah, man, I even forget myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm working now. No. And when I'm not working at all. It's like, that.
I hear you.
That thing where it's like you haven't managed to self-regulate optimally. I feel like that's my biggest regret because like I've said, the most important thing for me and you right now is we must tool ourselves to, okay, I don't know about you, but for me, I must tool myself to execute at a particular level consistently.
Yeah.
That's my biggest challenge now. My biggest challenge coming to this new year is, Oscar, I need you to be the beast that you know you are.
Yeah.
Like I need that gear. Obviously like I'm still productive, but I feel like there's another
level that
there's that like place where I'm like, things are done. What's up? Live shows. What's up? Merchandise. Okay.
Yeah.
Career-wise, it's fine. I also have time to run in the morning and I still have time to do the things I enjoy.
Yeah.
I need to find
structure.
There's people who do it. I don't know how they do it. That thing that we were talking about with Becky, that time management and creating a schedule that's like impenetrable.
Yeah.
I feel like that first level of like, I feel like it's a very, very important thing that I'd like to learn and I haven't done yet, but I will rectify this year, Beryl.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question.
So
and
that's
also
the skill.
Also not arguing with Beryl. Is my second biggest regret.
That's the answer she wanted to hear. That's why she asked the question.
It's my second
Who
biggest.
do you think you've disappointed the most this year?
Second biggest
Professionally.
Second biggest regret is not being too corporate and thinking about the creative side. I think that's my second thing.
Yeah. Amazing.
Beryl, are you satisfied with your answer?
Thank
you, Beryl.
Not so much.
Wait, what? For specific reasons, she chose this one over here.
Luke's question.
Yeah.
Regrets, now lesson. What's the one thing you have learned this year that you feel has made an impact in your life? Or it has made you view life differently?
Excellent.
The one thing that's made us view life differently that we've done this year. Okay, I think for me, I've had a better relationship with enjoyment. And through doing that, I've actually worked harder because then I've treated myself with enjoyment.
Yeah.
So I've been very lucky to go to like quite a few places this year and designate and say, listen, I've worked very hard for the past 2 months. I'm going to go to this place for 10 days. I don't care about my emails. I don't care about my phone right now. I'm just going to enjoy myself. And through doing that, when I come back to work, I'm like, good, you've enjoyed yourself. So now when you put all your focus into work for this next few months, then you won't feel bad because you know you've done that enjoyment and then you've got something else coming. So that balance has really, really helped me be more productive, because I think I used to burn out like regularly and I wasn't enjoying the work because I wasn't rewarding myself for the work. So that's probably been my main thing. But even in doing that, even in going and enjoying and having good memories with friends and things, I think what I'd want to even add on to that now to make a better equation next year is to, and you say this all the time, like maintain, I know I said I want more boundaries, but also the people that I really care about, I want to maintain and communicate better. Like sometimes I can take 3-4 days or even 6 days to reply to somebody that I actually care about. So enjoy myself, but then also after we've enjoyed ourselves, we're still touching base regularly and checking in on people because I'm bad at checking in on people. So I think that would make me even more optimal because I'd have a better relationship with people that I care about. So yeah, more enjoyment has helped me this year for sure. How about you? What's one thing?
The one lesson I think I've learned that's the most important, and it also ties to the World Cup. And that's why I think I was so happy when Messi won. It's that great stories and great things are achieved by men and by men who commit themselves towards things. Things don't change in the world until certain people commit themselves towards that change. And that's the thing I think I've learned the most this year. And you might do things in your life where you think this is absolutely insignificant. Totally has no attachment or cannot be considered in any room whatsoever. And you might just be moving things. You're just like moving through life. For example, I'll give you an example, right? One of the things I did when I was in law school, at night, I used to do sessions for CFA1. I wanted to do finance. And like in the middle of doing all that, and I finished and then I joined a law firm, I was like, all this information that I got, it must have been a useless thing. And now I'm in a place where it's like, dog, the fact that you did that changes everything. When I was in Cisco, those 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I didn't think it was useful anymore. But now I'm in a space where it's like, the fact that you did that those years ago is what's making me turn my head to listen to what you have to say. You get what I mean? It's like this thing where, like, one of the things that's so disheartening about like being young, I feel like, and one of the things about that's the delight and the curse of human beings is the fact that we can only see tomorrow. We can only live in today. Our view of life is so myopic and so limited. I think the lesson there is don't restrict yourself. Don't restrict your God. I think that's the one actually. Don't be the one. Don't sit down and go, oh man, like I'm going through this now and this is probably how it's going to be. And it feels like that. It's so extreme. But look at what God has done this year. Eli, look at what God has done.
Yeah.
I feel like even for me, oh man, I get so emotional about it sometimes. And I feel like this year it's like, I can't reconcile. I can't believe I'm living this. It's incredible for me. It's like, it's incredible. I cannot believe we're actually living this. As much as we sat down and we were like, you know what? We're going to try and change men's, like the narrative around how men are perceived online. So Victor, we're going to change the narrative that how men are perceived online. That's how Beryl came on board. Beryl came on board a year ago as well. Beryl came on board a year ago as well, that according to the mathematics. It's that, like, look at what God has done. How can we sit down and say it's our work? How can you sit down and say it's your vision and your plan? But look at what God has done. That's the lesson. Like, don't sit down and restrict God. Many people will say, maybe the fact that like I'm a doctor who's been laid off, I have a first class honors who's washing a car. Like I'm a guy who's like struggling with a drug addiction or a porn addiction. I'm a guy who's like can't see what tomorrow looks like. I'm like in the deepest, darkest possible hole. Don't think that that's the end of the line, because to be honest, it's not. You don't know what you deciding to push forward every day will bring you. And like for me, when I sit down, that's the question I've been asking myself this year. It's like, look at what God has done, Eli. Look at what God has done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the gratitude towards God, right, as well, on my part, I think a lot of the times, when you're sort of like navigating through life, one consistent factor that I find the happiest people
Yeah.
is that they have like their purpose, like they figured out earlier.
Yeah.
And God doesn't always give it to people early in their life. Like we're very in the first quarter, I'd say, of our life. And personally, I don't know, I'll speak for myself. Like I think I found my purpose, and I think I found what can sustain me and my happiness until I die. And that's something that not everybody finds. And I've realized it's in doing, and it doesn't have to be specific, like it's just doing anything that I see somebody's life is better because I've done something, even if it's in a very small way. Like if a vendor comes and says, I've made so much money this market, or if somebody comes and said, I listened to that episode of Mantalk and it's helped me here, or I forwarded this to my brother, I didn't know men go through this, and I've spoken to my dad about something different. Like hearing something like that makes me think, okay, regardless of anything, I'm so glad that he's put me in a position, brought me to this country to be able to finally find what my purpose is. And it didn't happen after a long period of like back and forth and feeling like kind of metaphorically like in a desert. Like a lot of people, they get to their purpose at like 40 something and they look back saying, oh, 15 years I was doing this job I hated, I was doing this I hated. But yeah, we just landed in a very early stage of our life with, well, personally for me, with something that I know I could do till I'm like 90. Yeah, 90 years old. Yeah, but just in different formats maybe, but 100%.
They're the same thing.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like that's so like for me it's
yeah,
it's crazy. It's it blows my mind sometimes. That thing where I'm like, if you do even for us to shoot here, the way life sometimes can try hard like to hamstring you, but like that motivation, that passion, and the fact that like everything that you're doing, the fact that, let's say there's an incident yesterday where Beryl said, unfortunately, I can only shoot from 2 p.m.
Yeah.
If Beryl said we're still moving along, it would have messed up everything.
Yeah. True.
That's not us.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, that's not us.
Everything aligned. Like we thought we were in crisis. Basically, we lost a location that we were planning to shoot at, and the whole morning it took us to negotiate with 2 institutions at the same time. And then find a spot here. And at that same time, that's the only time Beryl could have come and started shooting. Yeah. And so we lost one episode. It could have been like
the whole season. Yeah. It could have been 3 or 4.
Whole season, because you flew just to record this and see family, and then you're out again, and then I'm traveling. So it was like, if we lost these days, there would have been no Mantalk going into next year. That thing
where Beryl texted in the morning saying, "My guy, it's still 2 p.m."
Yeah.
Primarily, it was a coincidence that saved the season.
Yeah, because I initially was like, "Oh my god, what the hell?" Yeah. But it was because of a mistake again, once again on our side. Yeah, consistent factor. But yeah, no, kind of. And I think what that's kind of taught me, because I've had a lot of situations since COVID. I think this is what I learned. When everything is going completely wrong, there's a kind of a stillness that, like, I think personally I've managed. I think just through multiple adversities, like when something is crisis, it's sitting down and going, okay, looking, this is horrible. I'm going to feel these emotions, but what do we do? Like, okay,
and like the fact that we both, the both of us are just like, I'm not gonna lie. It's like there's God, but there's that thing, there's a Bible verse. I feel like I'm quoting the Bible too much.
There's no such thing as quoting
but like I feel like I'm quoting it too much today. But like it's good because it's clear that my understanding. I listen to Stephen Furtick a lot. He's a pastor, so he said he had this thing where he says, Jacob wrestled with God and left that place with a limp for his blessings. Yeah. And I feel like, hey, that's kind of been our story. It's like, we've been wrestling with this podcasting thing, wrestling with media. Now we know, okay, there's this thing called the creative economy. Okay. So we are very good at building platforms. How can we turn these platforms into something that like is tangible for people and actually implements direct change into people's lives and also into that economy? So like, that whole struggle of like, you're wrestling with everything of like, guys, it's a win-lose situation. But if Eli is involved in a win-lose situation, he'll fight to make it win-win. Yeah. If I'm involved in a win-lose situation, I'll fight to make it win-win. So if both of us are doing anything at the same time,
there's no chance it fails.
There's no chance it fails. There's that thing for like, because of kind of just our mindset, we limit the risk for the entire business.
Yeah. 100%.
And a lot of it is God, but some of it is us wrestling.
Yeah, like Jacob. Yeah.
And limping out.
Yeah.
And saying, at least we've lost an episode. It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, we move. We just figure it out.
Yeah, we figure it out. So
100%.
I think that's my lesson, man. Victor, good question. It's like, don't doubt yourself, because when you doubt yourself, you find that you're doubting a God that is unlimited.
100%.
That's my answer.
On the back of that, I think it's the perfect way to close.
Not yet.
I wanted to say, okay, cool. So I think because we've talked about the business and talking about the attitude towards like win, lose, etc.
I have a very funny question.
Okay. So I know, ask yours first, because mine's a nice way to wrap.
I know.
So ask yours first.
I can tell you're turning it down and I'm about to turn it all the way.
Go.
No, Eli, where were you for your birthday? Where were we?
Kilifi.
Yes. This past few, it was in October, I believe.
Yes,
I went
correct.
there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The concern I'm having, Eli, is now you're growing old.
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen, if you can see this is I'm putting a notice. We are looking for a young Kenyan girl.
Oh my God! Who sent you?
About 5'5", beautiful. 5'6", beautiful. We have beautiful can mean many things. We are open here. Educated, of course. Speaks well. Means well. So that we can finally unlock the blessing. I heard on what was that podcast, Joyride. Hey, even me have similar concerns. When
he who finds a wife finds a good thing.
He finds a wife finds a good thing. Like, what's
Did my mom send you? Did my mom?
I don't know. I've received several texts because she was asking me actually. My son doesn't seem to be in a hurry. Oscar, can you just push him?
Push it. So you decided on our end of year episode,
what are your thoughts on relationships and marriage? Like,
this seems to have been a trending theme this year. My singleness.
Oh, you're just going to the gym for yourself, huh?
Absolutely. Let's clarify that. You see, when you talk about different genders and you talk about a lady wants to make herself look good, they'll always say it's not for the male gaze. And I always say more power to you. Do you know what, Oscar? These triceps, right? These abs, this chest is not for the female gaze. It's for me. It's just a consequence of trying to live.
I really said it.
It's a consequence of trying to live an optimal life. And, if a decent physique comes from that, so be it. Whom's am I?
Whom's are you to deny yourself?
Whom's am I to deny this? So first of all, that's not why I go. I go to the gym because I want to be 85 and still be able to jog. That's why I go to the gym. And also because it's my boys' gym and it's a great community. Shout out Pocket Gym. Onto your burning and quite frustrating, annoying question
please.
That everyone seems to be asking me.
There was
a time in my life where I was in a mad rush to settle down. But my relationship with that has changed as much as there's definitely still a yearning to find companionship because of my age, but just because where I am mentally.
Yes.
Why I was saying I want to cut down interactions with multiple ladies, because sometimes the wrong impression can come of that. And it turns into whole intense situations that I don't really like sometimes. So
sometimes.
So why I want to dial that back is because I want to have more high quality relationships, and the highest quality relationship I think I'm looking for is companionship. So I think personally, I've reached a stage where I would say emotionally, I'd say financially, I'd say even in terms of my mentality, I'm ready to accommodate someone. But I am not going to be obsessing over it or like really beating myself up that I'm not with somebody. I'm still going to enjoy myself. I'm going to have a great time as a young man. I'm going to experience things. And when the person comes, I just carry on experiencing things with that person. Yeah. So I have a nicer, better relationship with it. I have a better relationship with it.
Less is more.
Huh?
Less is more.
Less is more. Less is more. And also, like, when I do find the significant other, I don't think it's healthy to have just multiple female friends when you have a partner. I don't see the point. I feel like when you find
that, you said I don't see the point.
Yeah, so why? Yeah, so that's why I want to cut it down a bit. So when that person does come, there's less
clutter.
Yeah, that's the word. Yes, there's less clutter. So that's my relationship with singlehood, and it's only fair since it's a game of tennis, and that's 15 love. Pardon the pun. To get it over the net one more time, and find out wagwan. What's your relationship with singlehood, Oscar? And what are you looking forward to in that department going into the new year?
Absolutely. I feel like personally I am
Why's your voice changed, buddy?
Completely
Why is-
focused. I'm entirely focused on my postgraduate studies.
Most
Complete-
love stories start at university. You know? Yeah.
I understand,
Similar
but
minds.
unfortunately, the temperatures in London do not allow flaming hot love. It might be icy or chilly, but I prefer to keep it chill.
Yes,
if it were
Mm.
in the +44, unless maybe a certain person comes around and dramatically increases
Right.
the temperature in our dorm rooms.
There you go.
Then perhaps I will reconsider that. Or, during my short stint in Nairobi before I make certain key decisions, maybe it might happen, might not. But I feel like I'm a lot more, I'd say, open to it.
Hello, growth.
Where have you been?
That's fascinating. It's crazy that the year started with an English woman and it's going to end with one.
My guy, listen, might pick up some out from Chelsea, walk in with some crazy from Vauxhall. Don't get me. Drive down to Brixton.
That's
walk
how you
something
feel.
up with. What's it going?
They always say that humor is a defense mechanism, Oscar. I think what we've witnessed here is
No. First of all, I'd like to take, I like to tap my Oyster card and return the conversation back to academics.
That's not what we're doing, buddy. How is your relationship with women at the moment, and how is singlehood, and what do you see next year in that department? What do you hope for? I'm more open to it. Let's start talking about Oyster cards.
Oh my God, you know me too well.
Way too well.
Way too well.
Next year, what would be an optimal result in that department?
Optimal result, simply put, at this stage, I just want to finish well, finish school well. So limit the distractions. Finish school well. Limit the distractions. And then maybe after that, like open myself up. But I still am very open to meeting and like chilling and vibing, but like not to a full-blown relationship. But if it happens after, it's that last quarter of 2023, that October to December, I'll be a little more accommodated.
Okay, well, just in time for Valentine's Day.
Just in time for Valentine's Day 2024, maybe. But like, man, like, but I've met so many people. Okay.
What'd you say, buddy? What have you met, man?
I've met
it's
so
just
many
you looked over there as if it was
incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic women.
Good. I think the best thing sometimes is to be exposed to people from multiple backgrounds, because it helps you identify what you want from each.
I feel like I've said a lot of word salad. I haven't really said anything. I was about to get away with it. But I will say this. I have been blessed to have a lot of interesting and fantastic women in my life. And I've also been blessed to have Eli to hold me accountable. And I feel like I've done the self-work to grow and to get to the places I need to be in this life. I feel like there's one last phase that I want to go through that will allow me to accommodate someone. I feel like I can get a lot more stable more quickly. And once that happens, I'm open to, a galley. Brixton thing.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
A galley from Meru, something.
Yeah.
Something.
Well, we're going to all be here to see it.
Yeah. And maybe, we'll talk about it in... we should bring someone like Nviri in.
Yeah. Talk about love and
maybe Bien sit down.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's a good call. Calm. Thanks for that horrible question. I hate talking about relationships on this podcast.
I know.
One day the narrative would change. I'm like, so I was with my wife in Cannes, and that's soon season 20. So what I want first of all, Beryl. First of all,
that time Betty will be shooting into that with white hair. Imagine pulling up. She pulls up with that jacket.
Imagine the day when we come to set and like our baby's there, and you're just like, it's okay. Can you imagine that day when we're shooting Mantalk? No, she can't imagine the day she said a solid no.
Or like our girlfriends walk in, and then it's like we're like, hey guys, we just wanted to give you support, and then they're sitting in the background.
Would you ever shoot with your significant other?
No, that's unbelievable. I'll never allow some things. You're crazy. My love is like honey. You eat it slowly in secret. People don't need to know.
I think the closest thing I'd do is have them be able to ask a question on a piece of paper. That's as close as I'll get to them interacting with me.
It's Kendrick Lamar J. Cole method. But it depends also on the person if they're into it. I don't know. It's not up. It's up to me, but at the same time,
Yeah,
it depends on who.
It's like having a child. It's kind of up
it's
to you,
like-
but it's not.
Yeah, it's
You
like
know? Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I might maybe I'll compromise. Maybe I'm not like super hardline on it. It's like
Yeah, no,
it's fine.
exactly.
But me, I've found because me and you are living a public life. Protect your privacy.
Oh my goodness.
Protect your
yes.
personal life, please.
Yeah,
Remember what Joy Candy said in her episode. If it's our business, it's our business.
Agreed.
You told us that you're dating. Oh wow. No, I want to know.
Yeah. But I think what you said is really key. Like, I know life is really unpredictable, and when you finally meet that person, there's it's about compromise. So there's so many things that that you don't even know you'll compromise on.
God
so
Lord.
that's why cohabiting and having a starting life with someone, I never say these are my hard lines because I know
they may change.
there's obviously the things that you can never compromise, but like stuff like that, if it means a lot to the person, fine.
I mean, one of the things I was taught is always pray for your wife, even if you don't have her.
I do.
Just pray, my guy, because because the single most difficult decision, most crucial decision, we can run this business, Eli, we even become billionaires, but the wrong wife, half of it goes.
Yeah, no, shout out to Bezos.
Shout out to Bezos. He made it out the hood. Jump up. Free JB.
But he got us these mics, so that's the one.
Shout out to Bezos. May get much to you.
So the final thing I wanted to do on the pod, we've talked about the year. What I want to do is celebrate you as a business partner this year. So I think it's very rare that you can have a friendship, a business, and also a friend that is part of your other friend group. Like, because you can have like these isolated friendships where it's like, that's my boy, but they don't really get on this person. So having an individual that when you're going through tough times personally, when you're going through, I remember there was the toughest time, I think you were one of the phone calls I made, and then that's someone that can just go and send you back, and you're like, oh, that's who I'm that person. Thanks for reminding me. I'm that guy. Thank you. So having someone like that, and then in the same breath, even the same phone call, we can talk about something crazy that's happened.
Crazy
that's happened.
That's crazy.
And you can make amazing memories with that person. And then you can sit down in the same phone call, plan something to do with your business and debate, and also somebody that you can respect their opinion, and you know they respect yours. And there's never conflict because of that mutual respect. It's a very rare thing to find. So your work ethic, your friendship, and just having you as a buddy, I think has made my year way easier than it could have been. So I just want to say I appreciate you, man. And I was about to, but I really like doing this podcast with you. It's one of the things I look forward to. And the fact that we're able to maintain this over oceans for the second time.
Twice.
Actually,
it's going to be thrice very soon.
Yeah, come on. I'm telling you. And to be able to plan like that, make money, and also when money comes into it, nothing's changed. That's also so rare. So yeah, you're a very rare individual to do things with. And even the way our relationship started is intrinsically linked to this podcast. And the way it's grown is still intrinsically linked to the podcast. And where it's going is going to be linked to the podcast. So yeah, man, I really appreciate you, dude. So yeah, thank you for this year. And thank you for being a good business partner.
Of course, now I must extend the same flowers the same
way. You don't have to, buddy. You can say safe.
I safe, dog. Cheers.
Yeah.
But like legit, dog. It's been another bossa nova moment. I feel like even now. I don't know what to say, man. We've bled together. We've sacrificed a lot. A lot has had to be done. A lot has had to be thought about. You've also helped me a lot in my personal life, as you can tell, a lot of things have changed very recently. That I don't understand. I'm used to being on a certain side of the mountain. I'm now in another side.
That's lit.
It's crazy. The DMs be blowing up. It's crazy. But like, man, thank you so much, man, for being just like the same thing I am to you is the same thing you are to me. And I feel like the best thing and the worst thing at the same time is that me and you are our relationship is the biggest like asset of the business.
100%. 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Our relationship is
yeah.
the biggest asset in this business.
Mm.
And we are both coming at it in different ways, offering different perspectives, but the mutual respect, the fact that me and you can look at a problem and say we're going to solve it this way rather than that way. And the fact that we both respect each other's ideas. We don't want to do the same thing someone else is doing.
Yeah.
That's a very rare thing as well. And I feel like kind of because of this relationship we have and kind of our brotherhood, we're going to break a few, very many glass and concrete ceilings on the way up. So
Agreed.
Yeah, let's just keep pushing. I feel like this is the close of the first chapter of our book.
Yeah.
This is how chapter 1 ends.
Yeah.
And the second chapter is going to be crazy. There's a quote that I have recently been thinking about a lot. I always told you.
Yep.
Which is Vivat Rex in homine. May kings dwell within men. And that is what you and I both are.
Yes.
Kings will push this podcast to the next level next year.
Yeah. I appreciate you, bro. Sure.
Thanks,
man.
There we
So
go.
I encourage you guys this season to tell people how you feel about them. Appreciate them because you don't know what happens next year. So get those things off your chest, positive and negative, as you enjoy this Christmas and holiday period. And when you do go out, guys, just a few things. Drink water, right? Watch your drink. Don't let anyone come near your drink. And don't drink and drive. That's all we're asking. Just 3 things.
Please,
as
Lord.
you celebrate New Year's, because that's where the most tragedies happen, and we need the views.
And also, yeah, we do. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And tell your friend good night.
Yeah.
Before you go home,
Exactly,
as Victor said.
Yeah.
Guys, go out, have fun,
Enjoy.
have a happy New Year,
Happy
and thank
New
you,
Year.
Beryl and Victor,
Thank you,
our
guys.
co-hosts.
Thank you.
for the evening. All right, bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. See you next year.
See you next year, 2020.
Treat.